Hello everyone, I'm Anadoka.
And I'm Alicia Perez.
And you're listening to The Book Club.
But we also talk about topics that aren't related to books.
Yes, and today's podcast is about The Great Gatsby. So, starting off, for those of you who haven't read the book, here's a brief breakdown. The author is a man named F. Scott Fitzgerald, and The Great Gatsby is set during the Roaring Twenties, and it tells the story of a man named Jay Gatsby's pursuit of the American dream.
Our narrator is an upperclassman named Nick Carraway. He moves from out west to New York in an attempt to be a bond trader. His New York neighbor is a man named Jay Gatsby, who is really eccentric and really wealthy. Nick becomes involved in Gatsby's plan to get back with Nick's cousin, Daisy Buchanan, after not seeing each other for years.
And Jay Gatsby has been involved in illegal activities, including bootlegging, which is the selling of liquor during the Prohibition when liquor sales were illegal in the U.S., and Gatsby throws these massive, sort of lavish parties where people get taken to cards in, but they never remember how they got there. And he eventually meets and starts to have this affair with the love of his life, Daisy. And Daisy's husband, Tom, is carrying on an affair of his own with the garage owner's wife, who goes by the name of Myrtle Wilson. So right off the bat, this quote-unquote relationship that Tom and Daisy have is just straight up toxic.
So a huge fast forward to the end of the novel, and Daisy is driving home erratically from New York after this huge argument, and she accidentally hits and kills Myrtle, which is Tom's mistress, with Gatsby's car. And at this point, she doesn't know that she has killed her husband's mistress, so she continues to drive home after the hit. But the crazy part is that Gatsby was there in the passenger seat for the whole thing. So when Myrtle's husband finds out that she has been killed, he becomes really depressed and hopeless and seeks the person who killed her so he can avenge her death.
And even more messed up, Daisy's husband Tom directs him to Gatsby's house where he shoots and kills Gatsby and then himself, thus resolving Daisy's affair. And then Daisy and Tom travel somewhere with their child and never return. They basically go off the grid for the rest of the book. Then we meet Gatsby's dad and Nick is trying to plan this funeral for Gatsby, but nobody comes because they've all been using him for his money and parties. And honestly, Gatsby's life sounds kind of depressing, not gonna lie, but that's besides the point. That's a basic rundown of the book, but the point of the podcast is to talk about what we think the main ideas and themes are of the book that we can apply to our life so we don't end up like Gatsby.
Yeah.
So, Layla, what are some main ideas of the story that you can apply to your day-to-day life?
I feel like I have two. So one is taking advantage of your opportunities or reaching for your dreams. And the other one is wealth and how it plays a role in life. And if you go to the beginning of chapter 6, specifically on page 98, Nick talks about, in the book, sorry. Nick talks about Gatsby coming from a really poor family and how they were unsuccessful farmers. And Gatsby himself says he never considered that they were even his parents. He always felt like he was destined for something more, and so he conjured up this sort of image of himself but in the future of him having wealth and all that.
Manifestation.
Manifestation. Literally,
he basically manifested it.
And so he creates this image in his head, and he essentially just projects that, and he becomes that.
Yeah.
But through illegal,
exactly,
bootlicking and whatnot. But
yeah. Then what's another thing?
The other one was taking advantage of opportunities and reaching for your dreams.
Yeah. What I believe that the message of the book was that not to tell you that dreams always come true, but it's meant to say that chasing an unworthy dream will lead to tragedy. Yeah. And we basically see that I have the online PDF version. On chapter 8, page 124, Gatsby dies. And it's because he's been chasing this unworthy dream, which is Daisy, and she's married and she has a kid, and he's still holding on to this hope, which is also a theme of the book.
Yeah.
And it also could be because on chapter 5, page 65, we learn that Gatsby has this blurred perception of reality, and Gatsby doesn't even realize what he's doing is wrong. And more leading into the unworthy dream chasing, at the end of the book, chapter 8, page 117, Nick talks about this track that's curving away from the sun being the dream. The track curving away is kind of like him being directed away from his dream. Mm-hmm. And it's just he's on the way to nowhere. He's not getting anywhere, and he's just chasing after this girl and ends up dying from it, literally.
Yeah, I feel that kind of shows how Tom is disgusting. So
We
how
don't-
Tom
Tom's
how disgusting. How like Tom and her like really are meant to be together is
They're very selfish, but it
Yeah.
like the whole thing. I had a theme that like the growth thing, and I said that
Yeah.
Daisy with the flowers was kind of growth. It's like she just grew to be more of herself.
she grew thorns. That's what
Yeah,
she grew.
thorns. She showed her true colors, and like she showed that she
Yeah.
is made for Tom. Like they're
she
made for
both-
each
they're
other.
both-
Oh,
And
no, messed up thing.
Tom leads Wilson to Gatsby.
Gatsby,
and then,
yeah.
And then the whole time, I mean, oh
Like
my
the
God.
one
and it was
time-
Daisy, and it was Daisy the whole time. Daisy.
The
yeah.
one time Tom is loyal.
Yeah,
like
the
he-
one,
the
literally
one
the one
time.
time, literally not even loyalty, like the entire
Literally, it's
marriage,
the
like
one time.
actively having a mistress,
Exactly.
and then your wife accident. And come on, okay,
It's a whole mess. What I drag from this book is
Yeah.
to, if I have a dream, maybe it's a job. Like if
Yeah.
I'm chasing after a job and there's all these signs and it's just telling me, Anna, you're not gonna get this job.
Yeah.
And I keep chasing after it. You know what? I can end up broke for all I know.
Yeah.
I can end up homeless because I'm putting all my money and time into this job, and I end up like not making it, and that's what I get for chasing an
Yeah.
unworthy dream.
make it realistic. You gotta make sure that
Yeah, they have to be
Yeah.
like, obviously not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. I'm not going to get everything I want in life, and I have to be okay with that. There's going to be some mishaps, but there's also
Yeah.
going to be some things that can be better in the future, so we have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you get from this book?
What I get from this book, don't have like affairs really, but not just affairs. Like affairs, yes. Like don't have affairs, but not just affairs, because like wealth. Like he really was chasing after a dream and he achieved it, but it ended up, not working out for him like at all.
I mean, he achieved one of his dreams.
One of his dreams, but then the whole point of we said, the whole point of the party was to get like Daisy over there.
Yeah. and,
He moved where he did.
like,
to
he
go towards
succeeded,
yeah.
but he did it in, like, a kind of
He,
mischievous
yeah.
way.
He like cheated his dream. I was saying like not just the affairs, but wealth. As much as relief it will provide, to you,
Yeah.
and it won't make you happy. Like it really won't.
Like,
like-
it's like temporary happiness. You get to buy all you want. You get to spend your money on everything, and then what? What do you have left?
Yeah.
Like, you can be the richest person and live in your big mansion. Who's gonna fill that mansion? You're gonna be in there by yourself
Yeah.
because you've been focused on making your money and all that. So like,
Bunch of
it's
empty
really,
space.
it's really,
That's
yeah,
all it is.
exactly, an empty space
Just
in
like in
your
your
heart.
Oh my god! Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. No, I completely agree with you.
So yeah, okay. Did we cover pretty much everything?
Yeah, we covered pretty much everything.
I think that's it. Thank you for listening to this
Yeah.
episode of the Book Club. I am Anadoka,
I'm Alicia Perez.
and we will see you next time.